going to discuss problems of multiplication and division of fractions. And if we pretend that we have 5 times 1/2, we can read it as 5 groups of multiplication. We write off. So if Aniletta is and she has a 5 half of a chocolate, so 5 halves of a chocolate, we need to figure it out how many chocolates does she has in all. So this is 5 halves. So we're thinking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 halves, 5 groups of half. And then if we put together 2 halves, we will get 2.5 wholes, 2.5 wholes from 5 halves. You can see that if we cover them, that would be a 2.5. So our answer, if we have a 5 groups of a half, Aniletta has a 2 whole chocolates and 1/2 of a chocolate. If we wanted to make that in terms of decimals, we can think in 2 ways. So that is equal sign means a same as. So 2.5 as a fraction is a same as if 2 wholes as a fraction, and we can see if our whole is 10, then this is 5. So we can say 2.2 and 5/10 or 2.5. But if you think that 1 whole could be 100 pieces, then this would be a 50. So we can also, I did not change area whatsoever. In the terms of fractions, I have a 2 whole fractions and a half of a fraction of a circle. If I'm thinking about terms of decimals, I can think that whole could be 10, and then this will be half of a 10.5. Or I can think that whole is 100, then I will have a 2.50 or 2 wholes and a 50 out of 100. That's the one of the idea when you read language, 5 groups of 1/2. But what if you have 1/2 of 5? That the story will change. What we are looking in this problem, the answer is going to be the same, but the story that I can create, it's going to have a different language. It will be, what is 1/2 of 5? So in this case, if I use Kevin as having 5 chocolates and his best friend is Robert, so the question is, what is 1/2 of a 5? So how many? Kevin has 5 chocolates. He would like to give his best friend Robert half of it. What amount of whole chocolates Robert is gonna get? So what half is of 5? Half of 5. So you can see, oh, that's a 3, 4, 5. So I can give Robert these 2, and I can give Kevin these 2. And so this one, they have to share. So I'm going to cut this 1/2 into halves. So we can see that Robert going to get 2.5. And Kevin going to have 2.5. So when we look at our problem, the Robert is going to 1/2 of 5 is really 2.5. So that comes with our answer is the same as the previous, but the story structure is different because we have a different story. 5 groups, Aniletta had 5 groups of half. That makes 2.5 as a whole. And then this problem was Kevin had 5 wholes and he wanted to know what 1/2 of 5 is. So it is 2.5 that he will give to his friend Robert. And also that means the same 2.2 and 5/10 or 2 and 50 hundredths. That's what we have when we are talking about multiplication by half. What if our problem says 5 divided in a half? So now I'm going to have another story. So Vanessa is, she has a 5 chocolates, and she's going to divide, division symbol operation. She's going to divide that into groups of half. How many groups she can make? So the thing is now, Vanessa has a 5 chocolates, and here are those 5 chocolates. And she needs, what the operation says, 5 divided into halves. So we need to see how many halves Vanessa can create, so she can give to her friends. So she has a 5 whole chocolates. She's gonna divide them in a groups of halves. Each of them she's gonna cut in a half. And if she cuts the 2 in halves, she'll get two 4 halves. If she cut her third chocolate, she will have 6 halves now. 2, 4, 6 halves. And if she share this, she will have another. And then if she cut this one as well, she'll have another. So it will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 halves. So she'll be able to get 10 halves if she divide these 5 chocolates. But it's important that you picture this whole cutting in a half, cutting in a half, cutting in a half, cutting in a half, and then you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 halves. So that is equals 10, because that is a 10 halves actually. But then we have different problem when we can now, if I ask you 1/2 divide into 5, that will make a different story. If I have Lanesha, and Lanesha has only what? In division, the first number is the greatest number or greatest group that you have. In this case, Vanessa had 5 wholes and divided into smaller pieces. She got 10 smaller pieces. In this case, Lanesha has only half, but even that half of a chocolate she would like to share with, or divide into 5 pieces with her, and so she can share with her friends. So what that means is that we need to divide and cut this half into 5 pieces. The question is how much each piece will be. And if I'm thinking about this, let me see if I have the fractions. I can think about what could be, and those pieces. I'm thinking if I cut it in the tenths, that this going to be possible. So I can have my tenths, and I going to represent if she cuts into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. As you can see, one piece that one of her friends is going to get is 1/10, because that's what the story is about. When Lanesha had half of a chocolate, she decided to divide into 5 equal pieces, and one piece is 1/10, because That's when you cut half into 5, you got the size of 1/10. So these were um, 4 examples and 4 structure that you can use to think about. Always remember to use the language so you will understand the story, and you can create story of your own. You can pretend. I have a 5 groups of half. I have thinking, what is 1/2 of 5? I can think I'll have 5 chocolates divided into smaller portions size of a half. Or you have just half and you will divide that half into even smaller pieces that will make 1/10 piece. And I'm hoping that that could help you understand a little bit more